My name's Jonathan Bellis. I'm an executive producer at Theorycraft Games. So Supervive is a MOBA BR. It is a blend of genres. Our players often say that we're League of Legends meets Apex Legends meets Smash Brothers. Yeah, it's a little bit of a top-down action game that has BR elements, but also has a lot of like platforming and fighting elements as well. The original spark actually started from, hey, can we make, a PvP or competitive game that's just like the best game to play with your friends? We just wanted to min-max for that completely. And then it actually morphed over time. Like it started as like a top-down extraction game, and then it was more of a strict MOBA, and then it was more of a strict BR, and then over time it has developed into kind of a hybrid of different genres. Yeah. As a company, we work on Discord. So even when we just started the team, we were coordinating on Discord, and then we started facilitating our public playtest through Discord as well. So both using it as a playtesting platform, as well as a way to gate access to our playtesting. And then over time, we started using other features like Discord stages and hosting events, whether it be smaller events where we're just talking to core groups of players, to larger events where we're doing like tournaments and show matches and things like that. Mentioned before, like kind of our core mandate is like, let's make a game that's best played with friends. And then what we saw in our playtesting data was, the people who play together are the most retentive, they play the most. They're most likely to be the most engaged players that you have. And a lot of what the SDK provides is tools to convert more players into that bucket. Take somebody who's playing by themselves and make it easy for them to play with their friends. And so that was really a no-brainer for us, yeah. So since we've integrated the SDK, we've had about roughly 20,000 players that have linked. We also see a very low percentage, like sub 1%, that unlink. So a lot of players are engaging with the SDK, continuing to use the SDK. We also see a lot of engagement in what we call pre-made hours. So when players get into a pre-made group and play together, as opposed to playing solo, which again, as I mentioned, is like a key metric in terms of retention, or it's a signal that a player is going to be more retentive to us. And then, yeah, we see a lot of like chatting, DMing, direct communication activity, which for us all adds up to social stickiness. Player reaction was like largely really positive. I think people were just excited to kind of unify their friends lists, especially if they're an avid Discord user. I think it was just like a slam dunk for those players. The thing that was surprising, I think, was there are some players that just have like immensely large friends lists in Discord, like to numbers and counts that baffled us, and I think even Discord to some degree. And so having to manage that and make sure that it worked within our ecosystem, it took some additional effort, but we got there, and that was surprising to us, I think, the most. Through collaboration with the Discord team, I think the one feature that we're super proud of and that we were really excited to work with the Discord team on was the unified friends list, or more specifically, the challenge and problem of when two people are already Discord linked, how do you manage adding them as a Discord friend versus a game friend? For a lot of us that use Discord ourselves, like your Discord is kind of like your gamer phone number. You don't want to just hand it out to anybody that you see. And so, we raised that to Discord, and they changed the SDK so that way there was basically different tiers, and that adding somebody on Discord became a bespoke and separate action relative to adding somebody in your game. And yeah, that showed us really quickly that, wow, Discord, they're not just min-maxing for their use cases, like they're really thinking about what is the experience for your game. And we all agreed that if it was annoying to use, or if it had these edge cases that were problematic for players, then people wouldn't use it. I think for studios that are considering using the SDK, if you're using one of the major engines, things like Unreal, everything kind of works out of the box, and it's pretty straightforward from an implementation perspective. We didn't have to do anything that was unique or bespoke that felt really difficult or high scope. So pretty straightforward. We have a saying at Theorycraft, which is like ship while we're embarrassed. A lot of companies tend to hold something until it is super polished. And, that can make sense in certain scenarios and certain game genres. But I think if you're trying to prototype something, improve something, or create something new that's really different, I really think that player hands are going to be the ultimate judge, like whether or not they like your game and whether or not they come back and whether or not they play. And I've also worked on other projects where you can often get fooled by internal testing. It's really fun to play with other developers on your team, and it's really fun to enjoy a game with friends. And so, yeah, playtesting publicly is the true test.